You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies.
This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Crossbones After Show.
We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's
AFTERBUZZ TV's Crossbones After Show.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
SpongeBob. Hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh.
Hey guys, we're back with Crossbones episode 4, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. I'm Kelly McInerney with my co-host.
What's going on, guys? I'm Bobby DeMuro. Nice to see you again.
Yeah. So let's just dive right in. A lot going on. Let's start off with Blackbeard. He's the main, the big storyline deals with him, clearly.
Let's start off with Blackbeard.
He's the man. It starts off with Selima trying to put the moves on him. And you were kind of right. He does know something's up.
Yeah, Blackbeard is all-knowing, all-seeing. Come on, you can't get one by Blackbeard.
Yeah, he's like, don't lie to me with your body, telling her. So she was denied, and...
Wouldn't you, I mean, I know you're not a guy, but wouldn't you, if you were a guy, like, you'd still do it, even though you know that she's lying to you?
I don't know, because then she would kind of win. You know, she'd still have...
No, you think you let her win because you want to get it, because you've been trying to get it.
But you still know.
But you still know.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know.
It kind of would hurt her harder, right?
I don't know.
Maybe?
I'm just saying you want to get yours because you've been working on it anyways if you're Blackbeard.
Yeah. Really quick, though, before anything else, let's talk about Maria Menounos' new book. It's on the New York Times bestsellers list. What? The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness. Pretty great for this time of year because bikini season. Gotta get beach body ready. It's really cool with recipes and everything. Check it out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Go to your local bookstore, you know, represent locally too.
Do they still have local bookstores?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not Borders, but Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, see you later, Borders.
Yeah. I saw an old Borders like the other day, and it was just a rundown building. It was weird.
Great story.
Anyways, but yeah, so he has a meeting with Lowe. Oh, because right after Selima tries to put the moves, he thinks she tries to slip into bed with him. Turns out it's a specter.
Mm-hmm, and the same specter we've been seeing.
Yeah, starts choking him. I think these specters are becoming more and more, like, vivid and real in a way, right?
Oh yeah, well later on, the next scene with the Spectre and the boy, he hugs the boy, physically has physical contact with the boy, and has to say the whole time, "You're not real, you're not real." So
to make him realize this isn't really happening, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy. So he has a meeting with Lowe because he's worried about his illness, and he thinks that the Spectres are an omen. That's what his heart thinks. His mind thinks that they're a mirage. Lowe says it's just his illness messing with him. And he kind of hypnotizes him into a convulsion and blacks out so he could look for something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he wants to see what Blackbeard's up to, and he finds a map of Jamaica.
Yep.
So he thinks...
Well, remember that Hellburner, because Lowe was talking to the other pirate a couple episodes ago about that Hellburner ship.
Yeah.
And so this is Lowe trying to find out what Blackbeard's up to. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think Lowe's concern with hypnotizing or inducing Blackbeard, he didn't hypnotize him, but inducing Blackbeard into that state, Lowe's concern to go find that map is innocent people are going to die.
Yeah, because they even had the Sam repeat it in his memory.
Yeah, so I don't think Lowe necessarily cares about whether or not Blackbeard succeeds as a pirate, whatever, it's not Lowe's problem. He's separate from that. But he's a man of honor who's like, I can't have innocent people die.
Yeah.
This can't happen. He doesn't have his allegiance to Blackbeard or necessarily to the king or necessarily to any one thing, but his allegiance is
being a good guy. What it boils down to,
And we see he's a good guy later with what he does with Kate, but we'll talk about that in a minute. This is Blackbeard.
So I think that he kind of just he tells a story basically about a guy that Lowe tells Blackbeard a story about a guy that had a similar illness that didn't last, basically, that kind of died.
Yeah.
And just to kind of make Blackbeard paranoid, so he does more rash and drastic decisions, just to see what he's up to, just to see how he's gonna like save these innocent people. And that's what Blackbeard kind of does. He goes to this lady called Begum Samsur to get some army people to protect Santa Campana.
Or to go on the offensive, I think. Yeah.
Wait, to attack?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he's going on the offensive. And he knows the governor of Jamaica's coming after him. But remember, his Hellburner thing is an issue that he wants to go after. He's talked about leaving the island.
Yeah.
He told Salima flat out it's time to act and take action. I think if you're just protecting yourself, you don't say, oh, it's time to act. I think when you say it's time to act, get the men, whatever, you're going on the offensive for something. Because we know he wants that map of Cuba or whatever that we see later that Lowe draws and things like that. So he's trying to go get his... You know, and he's trying to go do his thing, and this is the first major part of that where he says, I need an army. I need people who can actually fight.
Yeah.
And I'll pay for them.
Yeah. But it's really expensive, we find out. An army, especially if you rush it, you put a rush delivery on it, it's going to cost a lot of money.
It's just like Amazon, man.
Yeah.
Well, but what about that army scene, though? The military scene, the mercenaries is what they are.
Yeah.
When the mercenary fights Charlie, when Blackbeard says, let's test this out and see if these guys are good. And the guy fights Charlie, literally chops his, axes, his little hatchets in half on the wood with his little circular weapon. Whatever that was. But, holds Charlie down, flips him over, and puts the weapon right to Charlie's neck. And then Blackbeard kind of looks at Charlie and looks at the guy and just hesitates and just the smallest nod no. And it's back to this relationship with Blackbeard and Charlie where Blackbeard knows. He knows what Charlie did with Salima. Whether he'll say it or not, he knows.
Yeah.
And B, it's this idea that Charlie was talking about last episode where Blackbeard hasn't given him the reins, hasn't shown trust in him, hasn't done whatever. And this is a strained relationship between the two of them. And Charlie looks Blackbeard in the eye when he's on the ground with a weapon to his neck, looks him in the eye and sees that Blackbeard may have thought for a split second, kill him, I don't care, whatever, and said no. But that relationship is so strained between the two of them. I think I made this prediction last week about Charlie setting up a mutiny or a second team of pirates against Blackbeard. This only solidifies something like that for Charlie.
Do you think, though, that he really does know that Charlie and Salima got it? Because
100%.
Well, Salima's like, we'd be dead by now.
Because Blackbeard's going to toy with him.
Okay.
He's 100%. Because he gave Charlie the order to look after her. Then he really gave the order to kill her. Then Charlie couldn't go through with that. And he knows that the two of them were together and Salima's acting and looking the way she is. I think he can read people really well and he knows the situation. He says, you know what? Something happened. It's time to put the hammer down on these guys, but I'm not just going to chop their heads off right now. I'm going to do it in my time, in my way, because to Blackbeard, Salima's personal. If it were just any girl he were interested in, he'd probably just kill them both, whatever. But if it's a specific relationship and a significant romance or whatever he has for her, it burns him so badly, he needs to find the right way to do it.
Especially because he couldn't get any, like when he tried to seduce her, she wasn't having it. And then automatically, boom, like her and Charlie. So, I guess he likes torturing people. I think, and it could go different ways, not just like physical, but like mentally too. He's a little bit, well, we know he's crazy.
And I assume he needs, I know there's probably a lot of guys who can fill Charlie's shoes, but the more that we will learn, I assume he needs Salima. Because when he was talking about buying the army, and Salima told him, we don't have the money, that was more of an equal conversation, almost like Salima was like a bookkeeper or an accountant for the organization, telling him we don't have the money. So there's something she does skill-wise, talent-wise for that island that he needs. So instead of just killing these people, he understands there's value in her in some way, and he has to find the right way to do it. How do we replace her? How do we ensure order stays on the island? I can't just chop their heads off. I have to do it my way.
Yeah.
But it's gonna get done. I don't know what will happen in the future, but I think he's got his heart set that these guys have betrayed me. Charlie's out. Salima's both dead to me metaphorically. The two of these are, but I need to be careful with how I go about it.
Yeah. But so he tries to get this army, going back to it, and he doesn't have enough money, so he devises a plan to steal a map from the Spanish so he could get the treasure that he needs. And the map is in Governor Porto Carrero's mansion. And that's when he has Nena, Charlie, and Lowe team up together to try and get it. Because in the meeting that he had with Lowe, he found out that he's a quick drawer.
Yeah.
And he kept that in mind. So that's how they would take the map, basically.
One quick thing, and I just want to do it for continuity purposes. This is set in 1729.
Yeah.
Tom Lowe mentions, when Blackbeard says, "Where'd you learn to draw?" Lowe mentions at the University of Edinburgh, which, based on how old Lowe is, it would have had to have been 10, 15 years before that. I didn't get a chance to look it up. I didn't have time to look it up before we went in here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look it up after the show. Or viewers, if you're watching at home, comment on YouTube. When was the University of Edinburgh founded? Because if it was founded in 1700 or whatever, that would make it one of the older universities in the world, as we know of in these higher learning institutions. And I'm not saying it wasn't, but if it was founded in like 1850, that's going to be a standout mistake on the show.
Do you want me to just tell you?
I would love you to tell me, Stephen.
1582.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
Okay, so never mind. I'm
So
cool.
they're right. Yeah.
I'm totally cool. Okay.
Cool. But good job.
Yeah.
Sleuthing,
Just
kind
wanted to
of.
know. Not the biggest deal, but I'm glad that they were, you know, correct about it. 1582. That's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. And then while that's going on, he has that other vision of the Spectre more vivid, and she's not bloody or anything this time. She looks like a normal-ish lady, and she brings out a kid, and he picks up the boy and hugs him and says, "This isn't real." Crazy.
And snaps out of it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he's not even in bed. He's at a desk. So it's happening just whenever nowadays. Now it's becoming more and more occurrent. And then eventually, like, we'll go into Lowe's story a little bit later, but once he gets the map, he dresses up as Captain Kentish to sell a chronometer to Porto Carrero and get money.
Yep.
But I'm not, like, I guess the map is for something else, right?
Well, I think the map is for something else, but I think he needed the map, and he couldn't have sold the chronometer until he had the map. And now that he has the map and can navigate that island and navigate that area, he doesn't need the chronometer for it in the same way, and so he can sell the chronometer. Remember, too, James is making knockoff chronometers.
Yeah.
So if he sells one, he can have James make another one, which is an interesting dynamic at play in the relationship between James and Tom and James and Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Tom's trying to get James clean. We'll talk about Tom and him in a minute. Blackbeard's trying to keep James dirty.
Yeah.
It's like, you stay on that opium. I need you working because
No
you were on
shaky,
opium.
yeah.
No shakiness, no withdrawals. Like, you stay on that crap. I don't care about your health as much. I need you to do these things for me.
Yeah. We could talk about that now if you want, James and Tom, because James comes to Tom saying, "Listen, I want to get better. What do I do?" And Tom's like, "You got to stop with the opium, guy." And he's like, "All right, I'll do it. You know, I've felt pain before. I could do this." So they go through some physical therapy, and he kind of was like, "I don't know if I could do this now. I'm getting the shakes." But he's struggling, but it seems like he's doing good. And then that's when Blackbeard basically hands him some opium, right? Is that what that
Yeah,
bag was?
he handed him back his pipes and stuff like that. And that scene's pretty funny. Blackbeard comes in and they're talking. And I don't remember the first thing he said, but the second one was, "Tell me why your skin is the color of cheese."
I wrote that down too, because I thought that was funny.
That just made me kind of laugh. But Blackbeard is very sinister and openly sinister in this. A lot of times when he's sinister, he does it with maybe more of a good intention on its face, or he does it a little quieter, or he's a little sneakier. And with James, he just kind of bullies him into saying, "You'll take this opium." Now, I don't think James started using it again, because we see a scene later where he has like the shakes and he's lying in his wife's arms and stuff. So I assume he's still...
Which is good for
Yeah.
you, James. You
Yeah.
know, it's hard to beat that stuff.
I know, but we've all been there.
We're rooting for you.
We've all been there.
yeah.
How many
That
opium dens have we been in, right?
Yeah, crazy. With
Zero, Mom. We've been in 0 opium dens.
with Edgar Allan Poe, all that stuff.
Is that? I don't know much about opium. Like, is that a drug nowadays that gets used as much as it did in the
I
past?
don't think so.
Because it was
Not over here.
Yeah, isn't it an Asian thing?
It's grown more widely in Asia, but
Yeah.
there are still opium dens and there is still all that going on.
I heard there's tea.
Yes,
Yeah,
opium tea.
Opium tea, yeah.
Wow, I just
I
don't.
mean, it's similar to heroin. It's very similar to heroin.
I just-
Not my cup of tea.
I don't eat poppy seed muffins. That's all I'm going to tell you. You eat a lot of poppy seed muffins,
No.
you can test positive.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
I think you have to eat a lot though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's James's withdrawal thing. Instead of opium, just eat a ton of poppy seed muffins for a while and then slowly wean yourself off.
I mean, that might work. They should start doing that now.
I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on AFTERBUZZ TV, so don't follow my advice, kids.
Yeah. So he's working on it, which is good for James. And Lowe, he's he feels bad for James because of what he's done with Kate and everything. So he even tells Kate, listen, he's going through a lot of pain. I don't want to add to that pain. And he basically breaks up with Kate.
On a barefoot walk on the beach. So, Kelly, I ask you, how many guys have you broken up with walking barefoot on the beach? Too many to count?
Well, I mean, I didn't live on an island, though.
That's true. It's a little less weird.
Yeah.
Still, we live in LA. You can go to the beach whenever you want.
Yeah.
It's like, what a bad place to break up with somebody. But I didn't see this coming. I thought we were going to have a Tom and Kate relationship of some level.
The whole thing.
Blackbeard was going to get in between the two of them or whatever. I did not see Tom choosing James over Kate. Now it's a noble thing. He's trying to mend everything with everybody, but I didn't see that. So kudos to you folks, Crossbones writers room, good job.
Do you think it's gonna last?
I think so, because I think Tom is a man of honor and a man of his word, and he's a very determined man to do the right thing, at least in his mind.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think he respects James enough, and he understands what James is going through, and he understands that it'd be one thing to be with Kate if James had done something of his own volition. If he were just addicted to opium, if he were an alcoholic, if he were whatever, if he had his own problems that he caused, it would be different. But this is a physical problem that then manifested itself into this opium thing and into his other problems. And so Tom looks at him and says, you know what? If he were clean, if he were more equipped, if he were better, Kate would have probably never come to me, and Kate wouldn't have come to anybody else or whatever.
Yeah.
So I got to try to get this guy clean and give him the opportunity to be with his wife, because he didn't, talking about James, didn't do anything maliciously.
No.
Wasn't malicious about an addiction, wasn't abusive to her as far as we know, any of these things, obviously. But because of that, James is such a likable character. I think Tom sees that and says, you know what? It's really not fair to him. If he were a bad dude, I might feel differently, but he's not a bad dude. I got to cut this out.
Yeah.
Which is commendable.
Good for him. I don't know. I still think maybe like Kate in the heat. I don't trust Kate. I think maybe she's going to try and put some moves on him.
If you do it once, you'll do it again. Am I wrong? Oh, once a cheater, always a cheater? I don't know. I'm just saying, I wouldn't date her, you know? And if she doesn't do it with Tom, she's going to find somebody else. That's the other problem. You address the root of James's issues. Nice job, Tom. Congratulations. You may not have addressed the root of Kate's issues.
Yeah. I don't know.
Next up, Fletch.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be... She'd have to probably have a lot of rum or something, you know? I feel like that's what they drink, right? I just think of Pirates of the Caribbean. Why is the rum gone?
A lot of courage.
Yeah. No, but so Lowe also goes on this quest, well, I guess favor for Blackbeard with Nenna and Charlie to get the map. And they get the map. He draws it super fast. And then Charlie tries to kill him, because he's trying so bad to get back on Blackbeard's good side.
Could have seen that coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's getting on Blackbeard's good side. I think it's more the fact that Charlie is going to try to now kill anyone he doesn't trust.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to include Nenna. I think that might include Salima, because they've betrayed Blackbeard together, and who knows if Salima throws Charlie under the bus or whatever.
Yeah.
And it definitely includes Lowe, because on some level, Blackbeard likes and respects Lowe. So Charlie says, you know what? I need to get these extraneous people out of here, and then it'll just be me and Blackbeard or whatever, and we can come to a consensus. But Lowe's like the first guy. You're the outsider, dude. It was good until you came. It's time to go.
I don't know. I feel like he has some daddy issues, and he thinks of Blackbeard as his dad, and he's like, stop trying to be the favorite. I'm dad's favorite.
Yeah, that's actually a great point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially considering that biblical story he told.
Yeah.
A
few
2 episodes ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But Nenna showing some crazy character range this time. She was making out with Charlie a few episodes ago. And then this episode, Rose knows that she stole the ruby from her. So Rose goes into Nenna's house and tries to get it, but Nenna catches her and says, like, and Rose confronts her, like, why are you doing this? If you try and kill me, listen, I've got a letter. I don't know. Do you think that letter's true?
I don't.
I don't think so.
Well,
either.
I don't know. It could be true. We don't know enough about Rose. So
Yeah.
it'll be tough to make a prediction about that or whatever. We don't know a ton about her. I will say, I would guess that doing what she does for a living, she is connected to the entire island in a way that few people are. And if there's anybody who knows more of what's going on the entire island than Blackbeard, it's arguably Rose. Because Rose sees everyone and hears everything. So maybe Rose does have a letter or enough dirt on Nenna and other people to make that worthwhile.
Yeah.
The weird thing for me, and frankly I didn't like it, I'm sorry, is the bizarre sexual tension. I don't know
where
why.
did that come from? I thought you were with Charlie, but you're just hooking up with Charlie.
Oh,
but still
I know she's
love-
just hooking up with Charlie. I'm cool with Nenna hooking up with Charlie. Whatever. There's a little much.
I know, that's fine.
But this,
It's just. And
Why?
But was Rose into it? I don't think she was.
I feel like Rose would have been into it just to play the game, and she would have gone
I
through
think
it.
she just wants her money.
Yeah.
Which good for good
But,
for
like,
Rose.
What's the? I don't understand.
Is it just trying to add some more drama or something?
Or did we both miss something huge? I really don't understand. The whole like kind of lesbian, almost love affair was so random to me.
Yeah.
I do not get it. And Nenna alluded to this, that she was talking about love, and Rose was like, you poor thing, you love a man, and Nenna's like, it's not a man.
Yeah, and then goes really close
And
to her.
then they got close. So I'm like, are you saying you two are in love? Are you saying you're loving your jewels? I don't understand.
It was so vague and weird, like just out of left field, you
Completely.
know? I don't think many people liked it because I was reading some Twitter stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like, where did that come from?
I agree.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys think about that.
Keep it spicy on Friday night on NBC, huh?
Yeah, right? Trying to add some drama after Dateline, But yeah, it's just weird. Yeah, so they go on that adventure, and then lastly, let's just talk about, I guess, like Jagger.
Yeah.
William Finnegan goes to Jagger as Mr. Juniper in the very beginning, and tries to sell him a chronometer. But Jagger calls him out like immediately, saying, "No, I know who you are. You're a pirate. Tell me where Blackbeard is." And Finnegan doesn't give in. Good for him,
Yeah, good for him. You lost an eyeball.
Get his eyeball.
Congratulations.
But is he dead?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because he was sitting there lifeless. There's blood all over. His eyeball was out. 100% he's dead.
Yeah. At first, when he was talking, I thought he was talking to Finnegan, but I saw he was talking to the guy that was
To the
torturing.
guard or the interrogator or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Jagger is a much worse guy than Blackbeard. Early on, when we saw Jagger in that first episode, when we only knew him as the governor, we were like, okay, this is Blackbeard's nemesis. He's going to try to fight for the king, and go Jagger. We'll see what happens. Jagger's sick.
Yeah.
He's sick with what he did to Kate. He's sick with what he did to this
He
dude.
just doesn't feel anything.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
NBC tweeted, NBC Crossbones was like, who's worse, Blackbeard or Jagger?
Jagger.
Yeah, totally.
Jagger. I've seen Blackbeard kill. How many guys has Blackbeard killed?
I just remember that one when he was trying to say, in the beginning, I remember 2.
In the very beginning, did he kill the 2 assassins coming after him, or did he just beat them up?
Oh, he might have killed them.
Let's say he killed them.
So 4.
So Blackbeard's body count is higher.
Yeah.
But Jagger's is sicker by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guys tried to kill Blackbeard, so I'll give him. All right, I would kill those guys too. If you not.
So you're saying self-defense?
Yeah, self-defense.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. He's just. I know he's supposed to be good, Jagger, but you're going about it the really wrong reasons.
Well, Jagger's
ways.
getting desperate because he
Yeah.
knows Blackbeard's alive, and he knows in his heart, although he is true, whether or not he believes it, he believes Blackbeard is alive, and he wants to do whatever he can do to find him, and he will just stop at nothing. So you're going to see somebody very, very desperate. And I think desperate people are going to lash out more and more. Hence, Jagger is definitely not done killing people.
Yeah, especially because he thought. I think because he thought he killed Blackbeard. That's why he's like, I gotta kill him this time. I gotta make sure he's dead for real. Because I guess he maybe feels like it's his job to do it. I don't know, but it was nuts. But apparently he was slick because he put his initials on the cog wheel of the chronometer. That's how he knew it was fake, and that's how he starts to kill Finnegan, which was, a good job going through with it, though, because Blackbeard asked him to do it, and good job keeping your mouth shut.
So that's 2 pirates now. Talk about pirates' honor, scouts' honor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's 2 pirates now with Kate and Finnegan in 2 straight episodes who haven't caved at all.
Yeah.
Now, Kate, they rescued her. Finnegan, they did not. But that's 2 people who haven't caved under intense interrogation.
And Blackbeard always says that you're gonna cave. Hey, you gotta give some more props to your
Well, give
pirates.
props to him, but I think also Blackbeard's just being realistic. Let's assume they cave and deal with it, as opposed to thinking they won't cave. Now, I think it goes to show with Kate and with Finnegan how scared they are of Blackbeard, how reverential they treat Blackbeard, how reverentially they look at Blackbeard, and how much respect they have for him, whether it's earned or just respect out of fear.
Yeah.
How much respect they have for him to say, I cannot... If I flip on Blackbeard and I tell Jagger and Jagger keeps me alive, somebody else is going to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm going to die either way, so I better not flip on Blackbeard because I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. I guess because you're gonna die either way if you think about it.
It's like ratting on the mafia.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't like. Do you want to get killed by like the government or whomever? Or do you want to get killed by the mafia?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know. So I mean, I'll agree with that. And lastly, really quick about Fletch. Fletch. Tom tells him to go and look for the marooned guy. That's what he called him. And he found his camp.
We don't know if it was his camp though.
Or yeah, you're
but
right.
it is a camp. Yeah.
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 With a dragon shield, a shield with a dragon on it. And he went into a cave, right?
Maybe it's Tom Hanks. Found Tom
Maybe.
Hanks in Castaway.
We didn't see a volleyball though,
I
so
know.
you don't know.
That would be awesome. I wouldn't even be mad. If it were Tom Hanks, I would not even be mad.
I think that would make the show better.
Oh, it'd be so much better. It'd turn into like kind of a slapstick comedy or something.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Da, 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 da. But yeah, then he sees something. Do you think he's dead or like what do you think he saw?
What Fletch saw?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Just like
I don't know. Save it for predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make that your prediction. I don't know.
that's one of
but-
my predictions actually.
How about the ending though? How about the last thing when Jagger walks into that prison, walks by all those people, comes up on Blackbeard's girl.
Yes.
She lives. She lives and she's pissed. And she
Yeah.
lives and she's in jail for some reason. And Jagger wants to use her to get to Blackbeard. So what is her story?
I don't know. I have a prediction about that too actually.
Okay. This is the first ending in the 4 episodes. This is the first ending where I'm like, you know what? I can't wait till next week.
Yeah.
Every episode I'm kind of like, okay, this isn't bad. I'll watch some more. This is what we have to do anyways, and it's cool. But this ending today, I'm like, I got to know what happened
Now
to Fletch.
something's going on, yeah.
I got to know what happened to Fletch, and I got to know what happened with this girl.
Yeah.
So bring it on.
Especially because she's a specter, but she's alive, so she's not a ghost.
Well, that's the interesting thing that Jagger mentioned to her. I know where your guy is, or whatever. I know Blackbeard's
Your love,
alive.
yeah.
Help me find him. Which to me says she has some kind of maybe supernatural mystic power to go after him or find him because she's locked in prison. What can she do?
Yeah.
It's not like she can just say, hey, he's on that island. So I wonder if there's a supernatural component that comes out now in this.
Maybe.
That she has a power and that it's actually been her. She has actually been the Spectre. It's physically actually been her coming to Blackbeard
Like
before.
astral projection
Something
type
like
stuff.
that. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I just watched Charmed back in the day. That's how I know astral projection. Yeah. It was a really good ending, and I do look forward to the next one too because it was like what. But let's move on to news and gossip, shall we?
AfterBuzz TV News.
What do you have?
all right, we
Bobby?
got 3 good things. Well, 2 good things, 1 not so good thing in news today, you guys. The first one, Tracy I Feature, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. It probably isn't. The woman who plays Nenna on this, Tracy a Feature, is working on Jim Gillespie's new movie. Why does the name Jim Gillespie matter? Because, Kelly, have you ever seen I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah.
Of course you have, because everybody has. He directed that in 1997. Directed a few other things, none as big as that. He is now directing a movie called Takedown. I Feature, Tracy is playing a character named Nora Paulson in the movie. And get this, the movie is about reckless sons and daughters of international billionaires that are sent by their parents to an exclusive tough love boot camp to be taught basic survival skills in the hope that it will teach them to take responsibility for their lives. Now, while at the boot camp, they're all taken hostage, held for ransom, and it invokes the need for them to use their training to survive to get out of that situation. It is currently shooting in Wales and on the Isle of Man. It will be out next year. So her career is pretty young. Looked her up on IMDb. Been in a few things. Crossbones is the biggest thing of consequence thus far. Well, I think she's pretty good. I'd like to see her play something other than a pirate.
Yeah.
So who knows? That
I
movie
think she's
will...
a good pirate, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's one of my favorites because she's just like knows how to.
Yeah, and she's real calm. I like her demeanor. I like
Yeah.
her voice. I like the sound of her voice and stuff like that. So we'll see. She that movie is called Takedown. That'll be out next year. So
Neato.
and if it's anything like I know he did last summer, hey,
It'd be awesome.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Number 2. This isn't news so much as it's kind of a fun fact. Did you know, Kelly, there is a husband and wife team acting on Crossbones?
Really? No.
Yeah. Can you guess who the 2 people are?
Is it Fletch
Fletch and who?
and what's her name? Rose?
Ooh, you're half right. It is Charlie and Rose.
Whoa.
Yep,
All
Charlie is David Hoffman. Rose is Natalie Hoffman. They're both Australian actors. Originally, David has appeared on Alcatraz, NCIS, Major Crimes, Criminal Minds. He was on 327 episodes of the very popular Australian soap opera Neighbours. And that is likely where he met Natalie. She was on 301 episodes of Neighbours. They're married. They've been married for a few years. They're working together on Crossbones. And I assume with his background in some of these guest starring roles on major American television, they're trying to cross over into American TV and
yeah.
stuff. So good for them. They're husband and wife working together, and yet he's hooking up with everybody but her.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's funny.
And the third thing, not so interesting, but not so good. Crossbones ratings plunged 33% this week, down to, get this, 2.3 million. Not good.
Summertime, man.
Yeah, it is
It's fine.
summertime. They let out of a Meredith Vieira special on Dateline, which had almost 7 million, and they only kept 2.3. Did worse than the week before. They are taking next week off for the 4th of July. We'll be back in 2 weeks, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. They've still got a few episodes left in season 1, but ratings have unfortunately been going down pretty steadily.
It stinks though because it's summer
The crazy
and Friday.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the summer, it's Fridays, and they're not consistently week to week because of summer schedules, and I know they get preempted by baseball a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's tough.
It's Malkovich. How could people not want to watch Malkovich?
know.
As weird as Crossbones can be sometimes, this is just Malkovich like having fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch that.
Yeah.
It really is.
I have a fun fact that it was John Cusack's birthday yesterday, so he was Malkovich kind of,
Con Air?
and being John Malkovich.
Yeah. Oh, no,
too.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I can't believe I went to Con Air first.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's like my one movie trivia fact is if it's on Con Air, I know it.
Yeah, because I was Googling John Malkovich and it said, "Happy birthday, John Malkovich." But I looked at his birthday's in December. It was just saying, like, John Cusack.
Gotcha.
But yeah. All right. Cool. Anyways, let's move on to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
What do you think?
All right, I got a good one.
Do it.
So we've got Blackbeard, who is working against the Spanish and working against the English because he wants to keep his channels open for piracy. He wants to keep his domain on Santa Campana. He wants to do what he does. And he doesn't want people to know he's technically alive still, even though Jagger does. The English and the Spanish don't like each other. They never have. They fought wars in actual history during this period. The English and the Spanish fought a lot of naval wars in these times in the late 1600s, early 1700s. But when you are enemies and you have a common enemy, you can come together. And the English have a lot of naval resources. The Spanish have a lot of naval resources. So does Jagger go to Puerto Carrero or somebody else from Spain and say, hey, why don't we work together and find Blackbeard? And they make like a mega armada of English and Spanish coming together to kill Blackbeard.
Good job. But why would he want to go to Spain? Like, what would think of him going to Spain?
Why would
first?
Jagger go to Spain?
Yeah.
Because he's going to exhaust his resources on his own with England and Jamaica and not do it.
Okay.
And the Spanish at some point will know that the man they got the chronometer from was actually Blackbeard, and they'll say, wait a minute, both of them are going to realize that Blackbeard can disrupt their shipping lines. So you know what? Why don't we get together, kill him, and then we'll go our separate ways.
There you go.
So
Good prediction. Yeah.
yeah.
I have a prediction about the Spectre and the lady. I didn't put supernatural thing, but that's a really good prediction. I think that it's Blackbeard's like subconscious. I feel like he blocked it out. He felt guilty. It was like his lady, and maybe he escaped, but she didn't. Like from when they were like trying to escape or whatever. And when he was killed, maybe she was captured. And I think either she was pregnant at the time, or maybe he just thinks that he has a son, you know?
Because we never saw the son. He wasn't in the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that he just is just his subconscious is just super messing with him or
That's
what.
interesting. So the lady is a real physical lady because we saw her in the prison, but
Yeah.
maybe she was captured, he escaped or whatever happened. He faked his death like Tupac.
Yeah.
And then she comes to him in visions in his subconscious. Interesting.
Yeah. To make him remember again because he, I guess, blocked it out. And I think Fletch either sees like a big drawing of something, like a map or something, or maybe the maroon guy's dead. I don't know.
Ooh. Okay.
That's all. Yeah, so that was really fun. Bobby, where can we find you on
Twitter
internet?
at Bobby DeMuro, Instagram at Mr. Bobby DeMuro.
Yeah. And I'm Kelly. You can find me at Holly Weirdo on Instagram and Twitter too. And we'll see you next week, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.